What's going on, everybody? My name is Mr. Saturn, and this is BKFC Interviews or Mr. Saturn Interviews. I still haven't figured it out, and I have a really, really cool guest. If you didn't catch his fight on the 23rd last Saturday, we look forward to seeing him fight again. We have in the house Ryan Ryu Peterson.
Ryu.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah. Ryu. It's funny. They announced it Ryu, which is like the OG Japanese version, but
Yeah,
since I was a kid, it's always been Ryu,
yeah, dude.
Americanized.
Yeah,
So
kudos to Jeff Houston because he announced it that way. Because it's
yeah,
yeah, since I was young too, it was always Ryu, and then when
yeah,
I got
yeah,
older and watched the anime, it was a little different. It's Ryu.
yeah, yeah. It's funny. I didn't start people. Some people call me Ryu. It's always been since I was like 6 years old. Ryu, literally. Yeah, 6 years
Right.
old. I've been called Ryu.
So how? Okay, let's start off there. How that nickname come to be? Was that your main character or?
No, it's just my name being Ryan. It was
Okay,
playing Street Fighter at the arcade.
that's
And
right.
my boy Jason just started calling me Ryu, and everywhere we went from then on, everybody knew me as Ryu Ryan.
Ryu,
So
right?
yeah,
I
so that's
like
that,
that,
and
dude.
it's just stuck my whole life. So even before I was fighting or anything like that, it was always just Ryu. So
How'd you
always been
how'd
called
you
that.
even step into the world of fighting, bro? How'd this happen?
Oh, so that's you want the abridged version or you want the long version?
Give me whatever you want to give me, bro. We're
All
ready.
right.
We want to listen.
So I have quite a probably an interesting story, but I'll give you somewhat an abridged version. Basically, what
Sure.
started out was my I had a stepdad that wasn't really the best
Mm.
case scenario, violent drunk type guy. And I was always afraid of that. I never liked that. And I never liked that feeling. And so as I got older, I always wanted to get rid of that. So I wanted to train. And obviously growing up, into Van Damme movies and all that kind of shit, just like, everybody from our generation.
That's
Uh,
right.
I never liked that feeling of basically somebody being able to take advantage or somebody being able to, uh, impress their will on you or something like that.
Bully.
And yeah, a bully. I never liked that feeling of somebody wanting to bully. So I always,
Good.
started training and looking towards that. But then there was obviously teenage years where I became a bully myself, just insecurities. Uh, I wouldn't quite say a bully. Didn't pick on anybody like weaker than me per se. But if there was, a thug or something like that that gave a mean mug, I was swinging. I was swinging before questions were asked.
All
So
right, dude.
and just
Nice.
started with that, and then obviously my life kind of went into a bad direction, hanging out with the wrong crowd, things like that, getting into trouble, probation, things like that, and started hitting the gym and straightened my life out, and that's where I went.
What was your what actually? So once you started training, how did you get into? This is your first. This was your first professional BKFC fight, like with the company. What have you prior
Yeah,
to that? What did you get into?
kickboxing, Muay Thai, and then I did a little bit of jujitsu back in the day too. I love to watch the sport of MMA. I don't necessarily have a desire to do it.
Right.
But yeah, I started with kickboxing, basically kickboxing and Muay Thai. That was where my background initiated. And then, when bare knuckle basically came on the scene, I mean, obviously it's bare knuckle is OG. That's original combat in my mind, dude.
That's
First,
right.
first fist fight that ever happened was, a bare knuckle fist fight. That's the first
Yeah.
fight that ever went down in human history. So that's what's crazy about it. That's original combat. But when it became, I guess I don't know if you want to say a mainstream sport or just fact BKFC, David Feldman bringing BKFC on the scene. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I have to do that. That is just, that is my archetype. That is me to a T. I love that. So I got on actually on a local show here in Humboldt. I got on they had something they were advertising for fights, and I was looking for a kickboxing match, and he said something about bare knuckle. I was like, count me in, count me in. So got on that, and I won with a pretty devastating knockout. And I just knew with that was going to be a foot in the door. So I ended up sending the footage to Nate and all those guys, and they got right back to me.
Your fight, I have to admit, bro, it was a nail biter, man. I was the first round. I was like, oh my god. I don't like to say anything out loud, but in my mind, I was like, my guy's losing. He's not lose. Well, he's taking a lot of damage.
Yeah,
And then the
yeah,
second round, bro, you came in and you caught him. I think he felt something from you. He felt that punch, the power, and then right then and there, I think it's that picture right behind me too. He felt something and he knew just couldn't do it, and he just gave up. How did it feel when you transitioned from the first round to the second round? after you were kind of let's say a little lower on the cards?
You know what? I almost didn't see it that way. I see it as kind of like I was in my mind. I'm thinking of the fight as a whole,
Hmm.
and honestly, it's probably bad to be willing to take damage. It's not. You know what I mean? I do have to say was God blessed me with a good chin.
A good
Not that I
chin,
want to. Not that I want to keep testing that out. You know what I
right?
mean? I'd like to keep my brains. I got kids. I'd rather. I want to keep my mind intact as best I
That's
can.
right.
But um, no, I was just seeing like, hey, I just wanted to press the action. I wanted to put pressure on. That's what I like to do. And Dan can crack, man. Dan Godoy can crack. That dude can
Yeah,
fucking crack. He's a good dude. I like that guy. I like that guy. Um, but I just felt like, hey, we had a killer fight, and I was blessed to have him as an opponent. Honestly,
yeah. As soon as like there's that picture of you where you kind of just you have your hands over the ropes, and then you look over to your opponent, and then they waved it off. How'd you feel right then and there? What went through your mind? I you know
um, when so I didn't notice I didn't notice his eye at first. So when we went to the scratch line
Right.
there, and he called time, and he pointed for me to go to the neutral corner there, I thought he was calling for me because my lip, I got stitches in my lip there,
Oh, that's right.
and my lip was split wide open, and I thought he was calling for me to look at the doctor. So I leaned over the edge, and I was saying, "Yo, I'm good. I can
Uh,
still fight. I'm good." I didn't realize that. And then I heard Dan go, no. And I turned and I was thinking, what the fuck's going on?
yeah.
And then that's why I walked over to the ref and I said, what's going on? They said they called it off because of his eye.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of anticlimactic because, you want to have a fight, you want to finish in a nice fashion. I feel like that opportunity was kind of taken from him as well because he's a dog and I know that he wanted to continue to fight too. And if
Yeah.
given the opportunity, Dan would have continued to fight. So,
Yeah. I
yeah.
believe that, man. Definitely.
100% he would have. He's all heart, man. That guy's got a huge heart. I guarantee that he would have. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't even a question to him, but they kind of stopped that. So
Would you guys run it back if that was an option?
yeah, I think he's going to go to a different weight class though.
Okay.
I think he's going to go 55, which I think that'll be good for him, man. That guy will start just crumbling people
Right.
at
And throwing
55,
bombs. That's
bro.
right.
He
Yeah.
will start crumbling people. But funny enough, man, is at the at our medicals, like Thursday, I think Thursday morning or Wednesday morning, whatever day we were doing our medicals. Um, I was leaving the doctor's office, the first one in the morning, and somebody tapped me on the shoulder, and I turned around, and he had his hand stuck out as Dan, and he's like, "Hey, man, I'm Dan." I'm like, "What's up, man? I'm Ryan." Like, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And that right there was just a trip. The fact that he did that, I would have left the office. I wouldn't even known he was there because it was lined
Right.
up with people on both sides. And I got out of the doctor's office. I called my wife. I was like, "Yo," I was like, "The dude just came up and introduced himself," and I was like, "That's cool. He's pleasant. He's a pleasant guy." You don't have to have hate for these guys for anybody you're fighting necessarily. You don't have to do the job, in my opinion. And I took him as being a very honorable person. And then later on in the day, we had all of our appointments were almost coinciding. And when I pulled up to the place to get the MRI, he was sitting in there. And so our appointment was like an hour ahead. So we sat there for like an hour and talked about
Chilling.
life. Yeah, talked about life, talk about family, fighting, obviously things like that, and just hey, we shook on it. Hey, it's all business, brothers. It's all business on Saturday. Let's put on a show. And yeah, he's honestly the coolest dude I've ever fought, hands down. I've never had this happen before with somebody's. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
God bless Dan.
Do you do you feel that maybe during the fight, um the damage, because I was hurting me too, bro. I felt the punches. Do you think it felt the damage might have been a little factor? Because I was looking around at during the fight, and there's people out there like, damn, like gasping a little bit, like, ooh, I don't know, a little worried. I want to say just we were worried. Did you? I know you're probably in the moment. Adrenaline was pumping, so you probably weren't even feeling much. But once you went back to your corner, did you? What'd your coaches say? What was spoken about, if you don't mind sharing?
You know what? G actually took real good care of me, and I think
Yeah.
I think it probably looked worse than what it was. It's probably just a
Yeah,
broken, yeah,
definitely.
probably just a crack in the nose right here. And I got a big old potato head gimmick on me right here, man. I got a big old Mr. Potato Head nose. So to be honest, it's a big target. I got a fat head too, so that's like I'm like James Bond, big head mode. You know what I mean?
With,
Double O,
with
Golden Eye.
target, a big target.
Yeah, Golden Eye with the big nugget. So that's it just cracked me. He had a hell of a jab. We went jab for jab. It caught me, and the first one I did, I knew it had probably smashed it good, so I grabbed it to
Yeah.
pull it back. And when I pulled it back, I felt blood fill up. And so the
Mm,
next one I did, I grabbed it, pulled it out, pulled all the blood out, shook it off, and just kept going. So
oh, yeah.
and the funny thing is like everybody has pointed that out. Like, damn, like even Chris Lytle had called me and mentioned that and said, man, there was
Yeah.
a lot of blood there. Um, and even in Dan's corner, you could hear his corner say, man, he's bleeding like a stuck goddamn pig. And I was, but it was just more or less a bloody nose. Everything else, the ear had a bit of blood. My ear is, I don't know, well, you can see it split my ear. I think it was the first punch that he threw. And I thought it was actually I thought it would cut me behind here because I could feel that blood going down. Um, but I mean, I hate this again. I hate to say that, it doesn't, the damage didn't really bother me that much because
Cool.
it
Hell yeah.
should. It
Yeah.
should because, you don't want to get hit. But I haven't associated getting hit with being the worst thing in the world. you
That's
know, I,
right.
I think that if people don't get hit, they're probably like, damn, that sucks to get hit. But me, I don't always want to get hit.
Yeah,
Hold up
well,
here.
you're.
Oh, we got a guest. Hold on one second. We got the Halo guy in the house here.
Hey, Master Chief.
You say hi?
What's going on,
Hey, say
Master
hello.
Chief?
Say hello.
Hi,
You
Hey,
introduce
kiddo.
yourself? Tell them your name.
Rambo.
This is Rambo. This is my oldest boy, Rambo, right
What's
here.
up, Rambo?
You say hi? You tell
Hi,
him happy
Nice to see you,
Thanksgiving?
kiddo.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, kiddo.
Let daddy come out here in a minute, okay? All right, I'll see you in a minute, partner. All right, yeah, that's my oldest boy right there.
That's cute, dude. That's cute with that outfit. That's
Yeah,
great.
he's out here doing Halo and all that.
Um. So okay, well, how many kiddos do you have? You
I,
married? You said you have a wife. Yeah.
yeah, married. I got 2 kids. I got Rambo and Callan, and Rambo is 5, and Callan will be 3 next month. And they're little soldiers, man. They're little soldiers. They're out here. They're homeschool. We homeschool our kids. I got a ranch. I live on a ranch, and we grow most of our own food, raise our own
Nice.
animals,
Wow.
slaughter
Okay.
our own animals. Yeah, we're out here. Actually, I don't know. Well, you can see out there. We're out here burning right now.
Oh my
So
God, looks beautiful, bro. That looks
just
beautiful.
yeah, it's wonderful, man. Like this is a gym at my house here. We got 3 houses on the property. We turned one of them into a gym. We got a guest house, and then the house that we live in. And
That's great, dude. That's
yeah,
awesome. I'm
live,
excited
live.
to hear about it.
Yeah, we damn near live off grid. We want to go solar. But I will say this: we caved in and we got internet week before last, bro. Before we were no internet, no cable, trying to live like Ted Kaczynski without all the fan mail.
I mean, yeah, dude, it's almost a necessity, bro. How would we communicate with you, bro, unless you're out and about or something?
I kind of like it that way. I kind of like it. I kind of like being off grid.
Oh my God,
But yeah,
dude.
we got a massive DVD collection because we went for so long without any internet, and that was cool. I like it. But we
Wow,
caved in and got that Elon Musk Skynet shit.
that's right. So is that what you guys have? The Skynet? I know what you meant. Um, so okay, last man, I'm over here already thinking about the good times you guys must have. So I saw you guys have trees. So where exactly are you? Or not exactly, but what state are you in?
I'm in California. Yeah, I'm in Humboldt
Oh,
County, California.
that's right, Humboldt County. Oh my
Yep. So I'm
God, you
way up.
said that earlier.
Yeah, way up. I'm like, I don't know, maybe 5 miles as a crow flies to the ocean. I'm right where two rivers meet, right before the
Okay,
mouth of the ocean here. And I got redwoods on one side of me and the ocean on the other. So real peaceful, real serene, and you know,
it's
away
really
from the
beautiful.
world.
It's really
Yeah,
beautiful out that way. I stayed in South San Francisco for a while, and we would go across the bridge, like past Marin County, close to Santa
yeah.
Rosa, all that stuff. I'm like, wow, it's something else compared to down here. Southern California, it's a lot different, definitely.
Oh, it's crazy, bro. I can't even fathom living down there. It was crazy just being down there for a few days. Like I feel claustrophobic. That's a fucking powder keg waiting to blow,
Uh,
man.
it's crazy, dude. Traffic is insane. Just traffic. If
Yeah,
especially if you want to go places, and
it
you're
feels like yeah. Everywhere you went, it took like 45 minutes. It's like 4 miles, 45 minutes. I'm like, fuck, man.
dude.
4 miles is 4 minutes for me here.
Yeah, yeah, hell yeah. um, After the fight, dude, we got to take a picture. That was great, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. How did you celebrate once everything was over? What'd you do? Was your kid? Do your kiddos watch the fights? Were they with you? What happened after?
My family stayed home, and my family stayed home. Initially, they were going to come down, then but my wife decided, no, you know what, we'll just stay home. We got a lot of things going on here, and so they stayed home. And I think that my oldest boy started to watch the fight with my wife, but then when she saw me bleeding, he said, you know what, maybe you shouldn't watch.
Yeah.
So when I did get home and I got off the airplane, they were waiting for me, and my oldest boy kind of took a little look at me and had to inspect what was going on. I said, "It's all good, man. Dad's all good. Dad's all good."
Good.
Um, and as far as celebration goes, man, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I'm a pretty chill guy. We went out and had it was getting late, and so my corner and I went. My corner was Jay Johnsey and Sep Kademi. I used to live up on the Canadian border for a while, and every day I would travel to Canada. So I trained up at WKX up there, and
Shout out
traveled
to
to
WKX.
yeah WKX. What's up, baby? I got actually on my tooth here. Let's see here how I can get it. How the fuck? All right, yeah, I got a
Oh my
tattoo.
God.
My tooth
That's
is engraved.
crazy, bro.
WKX.
I love it. Dedication. I love it.
Yeah. So either way, I trained up in Canada for 5 years, and which is funny because here I've fought mostly Canadians, and here Dan was a Canadian also. But we just went and got some food. We went and got some food. Went to a Korean joint and Korean barbecue joint, and just
Mm,
kick back. We watched some fights. We watched some of the fights from that night on the app, and then we watched a couple other fights that had happened in other spots. The
yeah.
UFC card, I think, was going on or something like that.
Yeah. You saw the replay for
Um,
the UFC. They fought early that on Saturday.
yeah, 3 a.m. or something like that.
Mm,
Something that's a trip about walking out to the ring. So as I'm walking out, I don't really focus on much but the ring. You know what I mean? I don't look around in the crowd. I don't do none of that kind of stuff. But as I'm walking down, it was all smoky, and I heard
mm,
you yell. I hear everybody else yell, but I hear you stand out, not knowing it was even you.
yeah.
And I saw your hand out, and I went over, I leaned over, I gave you knuckles there,
Great,
not
bro.
even realizing that that it was you and all that kind of stuff. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Telling you, bro. I'm a fan, dude. You know,
Hey,
I was
right on,
I
man.
like
Thank
this
you.
guy, dude. I was like, I want this guy to win. I scream my head off.
Cool. Yeah, that was a trip. That was a trip having you right there. It's just nobody else got my attention. And right after that, it was G and Dan Mergliata.
Yep.
Just, just that was a trip. And then later on, after you come up to me and spoke, and it was, so weird how that stood out.
Bro, I can't wait to see you fight again, dude. It's
Yeah,
Dude, is
I
there
think
any
that's.
news of have you guys spoken about anything, or can you tell us anything about that, your next fight?
I think I can say something. I think I could say January 18th, Pachanga.
Shut the front door, dude. No
Yeah,
shit. I already got
yeah.
my tickets to that, dude.
Dope. Good. Good. Yeah.
One of your, I don't know if I can say it either, but one of your co fighters is actually might fight and at Pachanga as well.
Cool.
So
Cool.
that's pretty interesting, man. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. So
Um,
that's the next one, man. I figure got to get in like Achilles and make a flash. I'm a little bit older, so that's the thing. People don't realize that I'm 39. So I
I
just
ain't not that old, bro. I'm 37, man. You're making me feel old now. Stop it.
I don't feel old though, dude. I feel good. I'm in good
Yeah,
shape. You know what I mean. I take care of myself. Eat a good diet. Don't no, don't party. Nothing like that. So um,
you grill a lot, don't you? Like proteins or
yeah, we do. My wife makes food, so she like I said, we butcher all our own meat, things like that. So we raise our own animals and do all that kind of stuff. So yeah, protein and fruits, vegetables, basic stuff.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it shows, dude. I mean, you got the chin, bro. You got the health.
Yeah,
It
right. No,
shows, bro. Yeah.
yeah.
When you're not training, bro, I'm assuming you're spending with your family, but is there something that you do maybe with, just on your own, something that you can do to relax, just, your one time? Is there anything like that that you do, or it's just maybe family?
No, I don't relax, man. I don't relax. I don't know what that is anymore. No, I'm actually I work. I work and I hang with my family. I don't kick it with nobody but my family, to be honest. I go to the gym, and we always have work going on here at the ranch. But that's what I like to do. I like to just hang with my family. You know what I mean? Like I
Okay.
got one of my boys is in town right now. Actually, he's from Seattle. He's
Mhm.
always hitting me up like, let's kick it. I'm like, I don't kick it. Sorry, dude, I don't kick it. But he's in town training. He's in town training though, so he's not lonely.
Okay, good, good, good.
Yeah, I suppose it's a bit of a boring. Maybe it sounds boring on paper, but I lived a hell of an adventure growing up, so I'm ready to have a
An
little bit more
adventure,
mellow.
bro. What do you mean that you had adventure? I think we gotta find out. What do you mean?
Oh,
Give us a little bit. What do you
oh
say?
man, I just so I oh man, just caused a lot of trouble growing up. Got into a lot of trouble. Traveled
You
around
grew up
from
in Humboldt.
so I grew up partially in Humboldt and partially in Washington. So
Okay.
that I'm adopted. I was born in California. I'm adopted, and when my folks split, my mom moved to Washington. My dad stayed here in California. So I moved up with my mom, and that was always just a roller coaster of what was going on. We moved a lot. I think my wife and I counted like 25 moving 25 times before eighth grade or something like that, or right after eighth grade or something crazy. Dropped out of school after eighth grade and dropped out of school just into my ninth grade year, actually. So I didn't never finish the ninth grade and just kind of ran around like a maniac. There were some things that went down at the house. There were some things that started going down at the house. My mom and my stepdad had split, and some things that were going down at the house that uh, were not good. And what happened was something. There was an incident, and my mom tried to kill herself, cut her wrists, and cops showed up. We had to call the ambulance, so we called the ambulance, and they show up. They take her away, and it was just my brother and I. We were staying at my great grandfather's old house. He had passed away, and we got evicted from our apartment, so we were staying at his old place. And when she got out, they sent her to a mental hospital. And then when she got out, uh, she was like, "All right, now you got to go back to school." I just quit going to school during that time. So then when I went back to school, I walked in the office and they called me in. They said, "Hey, we understand you got a lot of things going on at home." They said, "If you ever feel overwhelmed, feel free to sign yourself out." I literally walked right out of the office, signed my name, peaced out. That was it. I was done. So then after that, I was always kind of the baby of the group. I hung out with a lot of guys that were way older than me. Just ran around with them, causing trouble, and then traveled all over. Uh, Funny enough, I was a big juggalo growing up.
No shit.
So
That's cool.
yeah, so I traveled all over while if ICP or Twister was on tour, I would
Yeah,
travel all over with that. Some of my buddies ended up doing things where they would open for them, and I would travel around on tour with them.
that's
So
awesome.
from like 15 to 19, I got to travel over a big part of the U.S. and see all sorts of things that kids my age shouldn't be seeing.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome, dude. You
yeah,
have a pretty cool. I mean, just how you put it. Yeah, you live
yeah,
it.
it was definitely wild. It was definitely
Wild.
wild, but I'll say this, like I basically wasted, other than the lessons that I learned from that, I basically wasted the first like probably 19 years of my life as far as making any progress. I learned a lot of lessons that way, but as far as making any progress, I was about stupid on the way things were. I didn't understand how life worked and this and that. And then when I finally got on track, about 20 years old, then I just put the pedal to the metal. So my life, my real life of cleaning myself up basically begins at 20 as opposed to like everybody else as a kid.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you're
so,
you're kind of a late bloomer, you know. I didn't really start getting, like we say in Spanish, agarrando la onda. Like I really didn't started getting the idea of what life is really about until I get like mid 30s.
yeah.
Oh my God. And and here I'm trying to do something with my life, getting to know fighters, getting involved. I could have been doing the same crap I was doing for the past like 15 years plus, but I get it, man. So and it's good. I mean, it sounds like you have a great life. You've come far from, from your younger years.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And like you say, man, you want to make progress in your life. You want to
Definitely.
you want to evolve and grow and gain greater perspective on life. You only got one opportunity here. This is. I was talking with Nelson Lopez, just telling him, "Hey, this is not the dress rehearsal, dude, and we're live, so we got to do it. We
Yeah.
got to go. You can't go back in time. You cannot go backwards. It always moves forward. So, um, whatever's on your heart, you got to go. You got to go full blast on
Go
that.
for it.
You
Yeah.
know, you have to. So
What's a good advice that you've ever received, and who gave that to you?
the best proof of advice I ever received: keep your mouth shut. That's one. That's one. Another piece of advice. is a man named John Vander Yacht. He's a police officer that let me off the hook when I was a kid. But he had told me one time I was going through some stuff, and he said, "What advice would you give to somebody in your position?" And that allowed me to step out and become have a third person perspective and maybe what was going on. You know what I mean? Sometimes we're too close. We're so close to our problem that we can't see the wall because our nose is to the wall. When if we were to back up, we could see the full perspective, and
Right.
that really helped me out. You know, so I'd say that right there. What advice would you give to a person in your position? That you know, I think that's it.
Yeah.
But also keep your mouth shut as well. That's
Keep your.
also.
I'm curious. Who told you about the? Who told you that to keep your mouth shut? I feel like it's got to be mom because it sounds like
I
a
think
mom thing.
no, no. That's just a life lesson that you learn right there. You know, what's the old saying? You know, it's better to be thought a fool than to open your better to keep your mouth shut and be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt.
Yeah, and everybody knows you're a dummy.
Yeah,
I like that,
exactly.
dude. I
Everybody
like.
knows you're a dumbass because you won't shut the fuck up.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, that's probably it. You know what I mean? I'm real big on making the most out of this opportunity that we have with life.
It's life, yeah, dude.
Yep, yep. And you have the opportunity in life to do rare things. This is cool. You're doing your thing. You know what I mean? You got your own podcast. This is cool. This is it's not common, right? It's not common. You go talk to 100 people. How many are going to be doing what they actually like to do, whether that be a hobby or what they're doing for a living? Not that many people pursue
No.
that,
Mm-mm.
and they'll be 80 years old saying shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah,
So
100%.
yeah.
I don't want to even trash some of my friends. Well, I don't even know if they're my friends anymore. I haven't hung out with them in a while, but they kind of still doing the same shit we was doing like 15, 20 years ago, and it's like, well, what can you do? What can you say? You just got to do your own thing and keep moving
Yep.
forward.
Yep. And you don't know until you know. You know what I mean? So again, you could tell somebody it's kind of the same as lead a horse to water, but you can't make
Oh,
them drink. You don't know until you know. So you know what I mean? If you could tell somebody, hey man, you're wasting your time, and they just think you're a fool for telling them that until they
yeah,
realize, like, damn, I've been wasting my time.
yeah. And people, yeah, especially when you love somebody too. You respect them. You just wanna just be there, but then you're just wasting your breath after a while.
Yep. Yeah. Like you say, when you love somebody, you have hope for them. You have
Yeah,
hope in your heart
exactly.
for them, but yet that hope can't extend until they learn the lesson that they need to learn, you know?
Yeah,
So that's a
definitely.
tough one, bro. That's a tough one.
Right, all right. Let's get out of the seriousness now. Let's get into something a little more fun before we close out, dude. All right. You mentioned you had a lot of DVDs. What's your go-to when, or maybe it's just you and the wife, or you and the kiddos, or just you? You just say maybe I just want to sit down and watch something real quick.
Oh,
What's your go-to?
okay. So my go-to movies, I like They Live. Basically any John Carpenter.
Oh,
They
hell
Live.
yeah,
Matter of
yeah,
fact, when I was down in LA, I went and hit some of the spots. I went to hit that spot where the Obey wall is, where it said Obey in the movie.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Went and hit the alleyway. That's one
The
of the things
alley where they
that I do.
fought.
Yeah, yeah. I went and hit the alleyway and took a photo
Oh
there.
yeah.
That's one of my things I do, man. I got my wife and I went out to New York and I went and hit the did the all the way from the conclave to Coney Island where the Warriors. We did the whole trek from
Love that movie.
yeah, we did the whole trek. So the Warriors, that's another one. Taxi Driver. Um, what else? What else? Halloween 3. Halloween 3 was filmed right up the road for me. It's funny because nobody likes Halloween 3. A lot of
I
people
love
like,
it.
yeah, that's my favorite with the mask.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
masks. Yeah.
Yep. That's my favorite. And let me think here. There's a dope movie called The Headhunter. And it almost has no talking in it, but it's about this dude that hunts monsters. That's a sick
Okay.
ass movie.
Okay. I'm gonna add to my
Uh,
list.
yeah. I like the '89 Batman and also The Dark Knight Rises, the one with Bane.
Okay.
Let me think here. Uh, as soon as I get off this, I'm gonna have like 5 more movies that'll
Yeah,
come to me. Like, damn, I should have said that one. But
oh god.
I watch a lot of cartoons actually, just because there's nothing to it. I don't got to pay attention to it. You know, a lot
Yeah.
of old Scooby Doo. Lots. I watch most of the movies I watch are now kid movies with my boys.
Yeah.
So any of those. How about you? How about you?
Oh, man. So I don't know, bro. That's tough. Okay. Well, for a while I was hooked on Friday After Next. Have you ever seen any of the Friday movies?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Stuck on Friday After Next. It's tough, man. I don't really watch a lot of movies.
yeah,
I used to though. I used to
yeah,
a lot. Like no, I'm gonna be the same way. As soon as we're done, I'm gonna be like, wow, man, like all these cool movies I would want to share.
yeah, yeah. That's what I feel too. I know there's ones that I missed, and that I was like, damn, that's it. What? I was like, how did I not remember that? I'm always down with that movie, so
Uh,
I know that'll come to me.
have you seen a movie? It's called This Is England.
I have not.
Check it out. It's
Okay.
about this kiddo who grows up kind of getting bullied a little bit, but he meets a group of friends who are kind of like traditional skinheads. You know, they're not really into like that hardcore racist stuff.
Yeah,
And he grows up with them, and he kind of does almost get introduced to that lifestyle. But it's like a drama with this kid kind of growing up somewhat on the bad side of town. It's a
yeah.
great movie, dude. They had a series after that. It's a British movie, obviously.
All right, cool. I'll check it out.
Yeah, yeah. This
Like a
is it.
coming of age type story, then.
Yeah, those are actually
Cool.
my kind of favorite movies, the coming of age movies, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. I like that kind of stuff too. I like a drama too. I'm not so much into comedy or anything like that, to be honest. So I think most of that stuff sucks for the most part. It's hard to make me. A movie is hard to make me laugh. People can make me laugh, but a movie just don't make me laugh anymore. I think it's corny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my God, dude. Okay, what about workout songs, or do you have a song you play before your fights, or what's
Um,
your go-to?
yeah, I got kind of a mix. It's really funny because my mentality for kickboxing is different than my mentality for bare
Mm,
knuckle. So I really have to really I feel like I can listen to things that get me pumped up before bare knuckle, and I feel fine. I don't feel like I blow my load for kickboxing. I feel like it blows my load. I got thick ass legs, so maybe it's because kicking takes so much goddamn energy out of me.
shoot,
But
yeah.
um, so I like. You ever heard of the band King 810? I don't know if you heard of them. They're from Flint. They're pretty heavy. Kubla Khan is what I came out to for the fight there. Paleface Swiss. That's all stuff that I like before the fight. I listen to as far as other music. Dude named Young Wicked. He's my boy. We do this Killer Hustle
Mm,
clothing brand together right there. I like Yellow Wolf. Um, yeah, I listen to a ton of music though. I love music. I just I basically probably pisses my wife off because I always got something going. I always got some type of music going. So how about you? What do you like?
I grew up listening to a lot of rockabilly and
Yeah,
psychobilly,
cool.
uh, ska, and specifically 80s. And to this day, I'm like the biggest 80s buff there is.
Nice.
Somebody's playing 80s, especially like more obscure 80s, not like top 40 or whatever. You know, yeah, 80s. But when I'm feeling a certain way, then I'll listen to something more heavy, a little more psychobilly, classic rock. I mean, I listen a lot of Mexican music, Spanish music.
Yeah, yeah.
I like music too, but I tend to get stuck. I get stuck on movies. I get stuck on TV shows and music where I'm just listening to that stuff for like long periods of time, for like months, over and over and over, watching the same movie over and over and over. It's
Yeah,
weird.
I do the same thing. It's funny because like the last few years, my Spotify playlist, it's like the top songs have been the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, damn, I like those songs, but
Yeah.
I like what I like. You know what I mean? I like what I like, and that's it. And I'm also I like to listen to an album all the way through.
Okay.
If I'm onto something, it's all the way through. I don't skip around unless I make a mix for a specific reason, like
Right.
Ford training or something like that. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, I'm the same way. I don't watch here. We don't, like I said, we don't have cable, and I never really was into that, so I never watched. I don't got any television shows I get sucked into. I just can't pay attention to it. It's hard enough for me to watch a movie, I will say. So I generally, it's got to have something cool. I feel like I could do without. It doesn't change my life, so I could do without watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I fall asleep in the movie theaters to this day. I went to go see Civil War, and I was crashed out for like 40% of that movie. And towards the end, I woke up because it got all crazy.
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to catch that new Gladiator though. I do want to see that.
Oh yeah, I heard it's really good. But
Yeah,
my brother's a movie critic, and he when I saw him on Sunday, he was like, well, he loves movies, and he's pretty spot on with his criticism. And he says, you know what, it's not the best. Like number one is always going to be the best, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's a good movie. Definitely, I definitely want to catch that too.
yeah. That's a tough one. And anytime there's a sequel, it's hard to break
Oh
to be
yeah.
better than the first. Very few movies do that. Obviously, Terminator 2 is an example of something that
Oh,
I think
definitely.
T2 is better than T1,
Hmm.
but uh, but that's few and far between.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Um,
that's funny because up in Canada, there, up when I was training up there, a lot of the guys I train with, they do stunts for movies and things like that. Y'all know, you know who Jay and Josh Johnsey are?
no, I couldn't say.
Josh fights for Glory, Glory
Okay.
Kickboxing. So yeah, they do a lot. They're always out doing stunts for movies and things like that. They done
Jeez,
tons of movies.
these guys must really love violence, huh? Pain.
Yeah, right. I think they're pretty well taken care of, though. I think they're pretty well taken care of.
All right, man. I'm gonna give you some. I'm gonna give you three questions more, and they're just a little off the walls, you know, just to close out, just to kind of be see. Let's see how you respond.
All right.
Um, let's see. If you could fight any historical figure bare knuckle boxing style, who would it be?
Um, historical figure or not, if I could fight anybody, if there was no limitation on this,
Okay, no
yeah,
limitation. Let's change it up.
how weird it is, I would fight myself. If I could fight myself, that would be my ultimate fight.
Okay,
So,
here's the next question. I got a follow up to that. Very interesting you say that. Imagine if you're facing a clone army of yourself.
yeah,
How many do you think you can take out? And then, I
that's a
mean, it's an army coming at you.
that's a tough one, man. That's a fucking army.
I mean, obviously, they might not. It might be like one of those the kung fu movies where you know they're kind of just standing around and to engage with you. So they're not just gonna jump you. But how
They're
many
like
think you can
they're
smoke?
like putties
They're
on
like buddies.
tile. Smoke them. They're just standing around and
Exactly, exactly like that. Just
damn.
waiting.
All right, it depends. It depends if I'm landing a straight right or a left hook first. Which one? If the clone hits me with the right or the left hook, I'm curious if I could knock myself down.
Okay.
Damn, that's a
So,
tough one.
so maybe one,
Maybe one could be
maybe
one.
one.
Yeah, that's my dream fight though. Not that that's possible, but to fight myself is my ultimate fight.
Yeah, I mean, we are our worst enemy, right?
Hey, potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes my boss
So,
pisses me off sometimes too.
okay. Oh my God. All right, all right. How about this one? This is the last one. If your punch had a flavor, what do you think your flavor would be?
And dynamite
Like dynamite explosion?
tastes like shit.
Like,
I don't know, like that taste you get when you are too close to a firecracker. I don't know, man.
yeah,
I assume
Chema,
I can't imagine it would taste good.
I
I
can
can't imagine
smell
it.
it already, bro. I find
Yeah,
it's yeah.
exactly.
4th of
That
July.
smell
I
that you
can
get. Yeah, that smell on the 4th of July that you get. It's not a nice smell. I can't
feel
imagine
it.
it would taste good.
No,
Yeah,
man. So you wanna give any shout outs to anybody? You wanna say thanks to anybody?
yeah, absolutely,
No.
man. First off, shout out to my family, my wife Lou, my kids Rambo and Callan, all my training partners. I train all over this county with everybody here, everybody from Redwood Muay Thai, Lost Boys, Next Level Boxing. Um, all my training partners up at WKX, Josh, Jay, Sep, everybody up there, and Vince Johnsey, and yeah, man, everybody that's shown support and love and respect, and everybody that came up after the fight, shook my hand, and said they enjoyed the fight. That that was cool. That was cool to have that, and um, glad I put on a good show. Glad I put on a show that kind of caught some
Yes,
eyes,
sir. Yes, sir.
even if it meant me getting punched in the face a few times.
That just meant you can take it, bro. Nope. That just meant
Yeah,
you got the chin. So it's all now we know what to expect the next time.
no,
You know, if it were to kind of go where you just want to go in and be like, nah, I'm gonna tell my friends like, nah, he's good. Trust me, he's good.
yeah, I know. So like, yeah, Chris Lytle called me yesterday to ask. He was asking me, like, how you doing and this and that. It's yeah, I don't know. Knock on wood, that my chin holds up because I got to say Dan can crack, but I just I'm not. I don't feel bothered by punches so much. Thank God. But anybody else, I think that dude's sleeping them. So that dude can crack. That dude can crack.
I
So
agree, dude.
yeah.
I agree, man. Well,
So
freak, man. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, dude. It was been really fun getting to know you. Um, Yeah, dude, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the picture. Thank you for the show. I look forward to seeing you in January. Like I
Yes,
said, my
sir.
tickets are purchased. Believe me, I'm gonna be screaming out your nickname. You're gonna know I'm there.
Cool. Cool.
And yeah, bro, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you.
Right on, man. Thank you for your time. Enjoy your evening. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Okay.
Yeah, I keep forgetting. Yeah, thanks, brother. To you and your family as well.
Thank you, Mr. Saturn. You have a good evening, sir.
All right, Ryu. See you, bud.